What's up, everyone? Real talk. Every single one of you has something special about you, and I'm not just saying that. We all do, right? And I'm going to use this example. I'm a human sitting in this Chevy, okay? I can drive this car. I am the person that is driving the car. I am in charge of this truck. But if somebody else takes ownership, they can drive it too, right? Will they be better driving than me? I don't know, right? Better captain me. It depends on their development, their good application, their training, their skills, and how serious they're taking this, right? Traffic, road safety, rules, regulations, right? This truck is made up of parts that are for this truck. This is a Chevy steering wheel, right? I ain't taking this and putting this on a Dodge Ram. This is the steering wheel that's for this truck, and that's what it's intended to do. Now, this steering wheel may want to be this shifter, right? But that's not what it's made to do. That's not what it's designed to do. It's designed to steer. And it's specifically, technically designed for Chevy. So, there's steering wheels out there that are generic, right? And you can replace them. There's pieces that don't come with this car, and they're very diverse. They can go like air fresheners, right? They can go in any vehicle, and they can produce the same thing, fresh air. It's nice, smelly cars, right? Depending on the kind of scent you like. There's chargers. They're very universal, right? They're for our phones, and these can fit into pretty much any car in this generation of the past, I want to say about, we'll say, maybe like 8 years, 5 to 8 years maybe. They started having these USB plugs, so I could be wrong. I don't know. It's just a guess. I can't remember. I remember my first car. I had none of that. I had a cigarette lighter, and the newest thing was putting the thing in the lighter so you could like put a tape in, or like, I don't know, your DVDs and it wouldn't skip, or your CD player and it didn't skip. Yeah, I'm that old. Or before those even came out. Yeah, just like the cassette tapes. Anyways, back to off that tangent. This is not specifically made for this truck. However, it's made to be compatible with this truck and other trucks and other vehicles that have the capability. So what I'm getting at is, as humans, you have something special about you. You may be a USB cord. You may be tissues. You may be water. You may be a Speedy, crazy person. You may be the steering wheel of a Chevy. You gotta find the right people to put you in the right place with the right team to make everything work, to be part of the team. And everyone is unique and different and is made for its own specific purpose. Some are made for a specific purpose. Some of you have it. You're just like born to be a part of Chevy, for example, right? Or whatever. And some are made to be diverse, right? Move around, support in a different way, from a different angle. And we could go into all the different jobs out there and how they play their part, but when you look at it, you are something that's part of a bigger picture. And your strengths and weaknesses are key, because you want to make sure you're going for the things that will help the team and will help you. And as a leader, you need to know your people's strengths and weaknesses so you don't put them into a position where they cannot perform. And you also need to learn your people. I could start driving this and slam my foot on the gas, and this truck's gonna be like, whoa, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, this is the way I drive. Figure it out. This is how I drive. Nothing wrong with that. You got to figure it out. Well, this machine is not made to me, right? I need to figure the machine out. The machine needs to figure me out. I need to figure how smooth I need to turn this wheel, or make sure I'm not jerking it. And when I do, and this tail spins, if I jerk it fast, it's like, why is it doing that? I'm just turning the wheel at the same speed I turn the wheel of my Toyota. Why is it doing that? It's because I don't understand the vehicle. And sometimes we do the same behaviors as leaders, and we're like, but this works. I'm doing the right things. I'm directing this person. I'm directing where to go. Why is this not working? What are they not getting? Maybe I need to change the approach and how I'm doing it as their leader so they can get it and can successfully do it. It's a very humbling thing to look at. When we're in like CEO positions, chief positions, commanding positions, it's very easy for us to have gotten there with so much experience, right? So we're like, boom, I got this. I know how this works. I need people to fall in line. If they're not meeting me, I need to have conversations with them. Blah, 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 right? And that's correct, right? To a point. But if you're starting to lose people, if you're starting to have issues, if people are not coming to you to talk to you, yeah, there's a development piece on their end. But what are you doing to help bridge that gap too? We can't sit here and blame each other. I can't say, well, they're not coming and talking to me. And they can't say, well, she's not coming and talking to me, right? Someone's got to lead. Someone's got to put that olive branch out there. Whether you think I shouldn't have to or not, how are you going to get to that point, right? I could reach out to my people that I supervise, both my civilian and military side, and say, hey, why haven't you reached out to me? You know? No, but once I know we need to talk, I'll reach out to them and not think like, well, they need to reach out to me. No, I'm going to reach out to you, and then I'm going to tell you, you can reach out to me anytime. I'm always going to be that humble person because I know the other way. I've been stubborn before, and in the past, like I said, I'm not perfect. And when you're stubborn and you let things get to you, man, you just shut down. You'll be off-putting to the people that you're having issues with, even if they want to come talk to you. Now they're like really feeling like, oh man, I'm really feeling this vibe from her. I ain't going over there. She obviously doesn't want to talk to me. You have to get over yourself. You do. We all do. We all got to get over ourselves. We are a team, okay? We, not me, we. And in every aspect of life, okay, human beings, you have to work together as a team. Even with families. And some families, man, they go at it. They'll be like, man, it gets a little wild. But developing your character, your emotional intelligence, being able to have hard conversations with people in a respectable way where you're going to get results. If you go into a conversation to go tell someone that they're wrong and you're right, it's not going to go over well. But if you go over there and talk to someone and say, we have a conflict and I've reflected and maybe I thought, right, this is that really deep awareness of yourself, that I've been doing these things, but I'm thinking they're not translating the way my intent is being. And we're having a disconnect. And I really, really want to work this out with you because all the positive things about you. This is who you are. And you give them positive reinforcement because people need confidence. When you go through tough times in leadership, when you go through conflict in leadership, when you're lost, don't know where you fit in leadership, confidence goes down the drain. And if you continually get pounded, hey, what are you doing? You're not doing this. And your confidence just droop and you just feel like you're drowning. Us as leaders and CEOs and bosses have to be aware when that's happening. We have to pay attention to that and we have to adjust the approach and get them out of there, right? It's our responsibility. It is our responsibility to lead by example, to take action, and to develop other leaders, right? We do hold them accountable. But if I hire someone and say, this is the standard I expect you to operate at, and they're not doing that, right? What have I done to help them get there? I could lay out all the expectations all day, and for me, I think it makes sense. But I don't know their lives. That's why I have to get to know them. I have to know what their baseline is. And everybody's baseline is different. And as a leader, you need to respect where everyone is. You have to feel out where we're at so you can see how much more we have to go to get to what your vision is, right? With the Air Force, you come in and people don't know what my vector is. They don't know what a reserve enlisted development plan is, or a development education board, or a key personnel list. They say they know how to write EPBs, but you read an EPB. They say they know how to write awards and decorations. which, by the way, can be a pain in the butt. I'll be honest with you. I've worked at all these different bases, and everyone has their own way. All the leaders have their own way of how they want things written. And you can't take it personal. When people give you feedback, hey, I think you need to adjust this and this. One way someone wanted things done, well, maybe at another base would be a different way, right? So you really need to understand that's just the differences of styles, leadership, and preferences. And you have to be open to that, because these things are gray areas. There's black and white, there's instructions and guidelines, but the guidelines give way for some expectations from whoever's in charge and how they want things to flow, process, be written. And same thing with me as a chief. One thing I noticed is I wanted to see the baseline of where we're at and, not nitpick and make sure everything's in there that needs to be in there. For me, awards and decorations, that's a lot. Like people do, they put a lot of work into it. I used to do it. I used to put so much work into it. And then my award that I wrote for my airmen would just be completely red penned. I get so frustrated. My police reports as a police officer used to get red penned. And I'm like, what the heck? I used to get so annoyed. But then I was like, man, these people know more than me. I need to listen to them and stop acting like I think I know it all. Right? And you got to build credibility, right? I've had a lot of packages that have won at the reserve command level. For a lot of airmen, for my first sergeant council team, my own package, as a first sergeant. So, I've gone through it and learned, the scrutiny, and it can be tough, but, my goal is to help everyone. But before, there's a lot of ideas out there, right? A lot of idea monsters. But before we can go after all these great grand things, the leader's got to bring everyone in and be like, we got to get the basics right first. We got to get them right first as a team. And that's the biggest issue. We start to get a few things right, but we're not 100% there, and then we want to go and do 100 other things. I used to be that way. And if our foundation isn't solid, we don't have the basics down to a T, before we start doing all these other things that are going to thin us out, we're going to fall apart. So that's at any workplace. So basically it's just like some open leadership talk, but yeah, I am not the authority on any of this. This is just Speedy's experiences, Speedy's thoughts. I used to be a lot more physically active, but your body breaks, and when you get older, you got to really be mindful of how to take care of your body. You don't want to, be in a position of being handicapped where you can't move, go up and down stairs when you get older. Like, you really need to think of those things. So trying to do things responsibly and trying to really be mindful of my body, my family, my friends, the people around me, and have a healthy balance for my mental, emotional, physical, spiritual health. It's not only good for me, but it's good for the people around me that love me, and the people in my workplaces, right, that are counting on me to do my job and carry out the expectations that I have, right? Communicate, keep your chins up, and when it's raining out, just remember the sun's going to come tomorrow. And if it doesn't, it'll come the next day. And sometimes the world and nature gives us signs. Hey, you're doing too much. Maybe stay indoors, have a cup of tea, take a knee, reflect, take some breaths. Reach out to someone you haven't talked to in a while. Check in on them. Hey, just thinking about you, seeing how you're doing. Remember, stay strong, stay safe, spread love, not hate. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.